David Jensen talked about the silver prices and how the metal is going to react in these times. He also gave his views about the supply demand of precious metal and the impact of the debt on them. David said that during this pandemic, there was tremendous purchasing and investment of silver, both industrial user stockpiling and investors buying. And during that period, the first 6 months, the price of silver fell. And we have seen something quite similar this year as well. We did have initially a price surge in January, February, but it's fallen back. Now, even as we are seeing the lease rates in London jumping for the 1000 ounce bars, or that's the world's primary silver market, and we are seeing premier being paid in the US $1.25 an ounce for a 1000 ounce bar. So incredible premier, 4 to 5 times historic levels. David says that you have got two markets. One is the physical market, and then you have got the digital trading market, where they are trading unallocated contracts or future contracts that don't have anything backing the contract. With Palladium, for instance, in 2016, we had a run on Palladium and the lease rate started to jump up in London. Then you had a 4 to 5 times price move after that. The reason that it can happen even with the digital trading of palladium and platinum in London is that once you get physical shortage in the market, it prevents the containment of prices by offering into the market digital units, thereby distorting the price discovery process. Because adding these digital trading contracts into the system creates supply where there is none, and you can use it to flush out the market or blow the stops of the traders and cascade down the price. They are a very high premium that is being demanded, and there have been for many of the purchasers has been delays as well. This is typical when you have a shortage. We have seen these type of shortages back in the day in the 2010 and 11 period where the price was heading toward $50. But what's strange here is that we had the initial surge at the beginning of the year, and then the price has fallen back. Now, if we look at the backstory of this whole thing, some analysts say that this is a temporary squeeze with the Wall Street wits crowd and retail investors buying retail investment products. But if we look at the big picture and look back to last year, we had over a 300 million ounce increase in the purchasing of silver, both by ETFs and by retail investment product purchasers. So there is a very real physical demand underpinning this market. We see the premier rise and we see the lease rates rising, indicating further market shortage that it starts to contain the ability to set the price with digital trading instruments. We look back to the 1970s, which was the last time that we had gross monetary inflation by the central banks of the world. You had gold put on a 20 times price move in 9 years, as did silver. What happens is when you dilute the currency and essentially abuse the currency with that level of currency creation is that investor is that consumer goods price, inflation always follow that level of currency increase. It's not just silver. Copper is up over $4 now and lumber at all-time highs. Investors are just at the margins in terms of the total market note there, but they provide enough additional purchasing of these assets to drive the price higher on a shortage basis. So this is a movement. It's driven by the deplorables in the US and the disaffected middle Americans. They can see what's going on with the financial system. They are departing the financial system by purchasing assets that are held outside the financial system as the volatility increases and as the currency becomes destabilized by the central bank policy. The Federal Reserve is lagging up again on money creation. It's about $3 trillion they have added to the system since January of 2020. So a little bit over a year, they have added $3 trillion of liquidity, and these are the signals that are being watched by industry and by private individuals. In terms of needing to get things that are not diluted and these digital assets are being created by the Fed are. It's strange the amount of liquidity that they are injecting. But we are starting to see instability in the stock market. It certainly looks like it's rolling over. We have had the euphoria phase in many of these tech stocks, and it looks like that we are heading into a period now where people are going to seek shelter by buying real assets and trying to lay a foundation for stability through a very unstable time ahead. David adds up that last year we saw more than 200 million ounces of silver investment purchases happen while the price of silver actually fell, and then the system was tightened up enough that is forced the price up that these digital trading instruments lose their effectiveness in price containment. We are taking up the slack and it's been a heck of a jolt. It's the beginning of February that has hit the silver market and there's been unprecedented demand, just the Sprott PSLV physical silver ETF. On average, they are adding about a million ounces a day from plus or minus per trading day into their ETF. If you look at on a trading day basis the amount of silver that's mined globally, it's about 3.2 million ounces a day. So there's one ETF alone that is taking the bars and putting them in their vault. Then you add on what they call the Wall Street bets, but the deplorables buying silver and getting assets out of the financial system, and it's putting on a heck of a lot of stress. We are seeing it now in London, whereas we didn't see it last year in the same way. There was not a surge in the leasing rate, which is the cost to borrow silver. We are seeing it surging now, indicating that in London, the shortage is hitting there in the world's biggest market. So we have got a pause here, but the slack is being taken out, and that the investment purchasing that we are seeing is fundamental. It's people buying bars and coins, and some ETFs are loading up the loose monetary policy of the central planners at the central bank. They can only maintain a show for so long before they have to engage in their money printing. It's extraordinarily damaging to society in the fashion in which they do it. So as per David, we are seeing a very similar situation. It's manifold times greater because of the level of debt that we have in the system, with the price containment of gold and silver that we have seen since the LBMA was formed in 1987 in London. It essentially turned off price discovery or crimped the price discovery to the extent that it allowed central banks to run extraordinarily loose monetary policy for decades, while gold and silver, which are the warning systems for loose monetary policy, didn't respond. Now David points that the global debt now is over $300 trillion, and now we are starting to increase rates, and devastation brought to the economy by the government shutdown for this pandemic, which was operated last year and now into this year, has been just horrific. The time for these assets is back again. We have at the same time an unwinding of so many different aspects in the market in terms of illegal activity. Let's just say modulating activity that's been used to contain the price in the past. So we could have some very shocking increase in prices of many raw materials that have been underpriced because of these trading systems that have been used. So guys, if you found this video really informative, then please make sure to press that like button, comment your thoughts below. Also subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, have a great day.